Daredevil Born Again Season 2 is not only the continuation of Season 1 of Born Again, but also the Netflix TV show where we once again follow Matt Murdock, Daredevil himself, as he is now on the run with Karen Page as Wilson Fisk stays as mayor of New York City, hammering in his anti-vigilante task force. Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. I am the Movie Tin, and yes, I came up with that intro on the fly, that's why it was a bit off. But yeah, I'm recording this literally a few minutes after watching the finale, which that reaction will be out by now, so go watch it if you haven't on the main channel, Movie Tin, link in description. You'd want to watch that reaction. I had big reactions anyway. But anyways, that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about my review for Daredevil Born Again Season 2. As someone who did enjoy Season 1, obviously I'm a big fan of the Netflix show, but Season 1 I thought was pretty okay for a soft reboot, but this one just goes fully into no, we are a continuation, which makes sense. Season 1 had a whole overhaul, so yeah, that's a whole story to that, but we're not talking about Season 1 today, we're talking about Season 2. So, without further ado, let's get straight into general conversation. And there will be spoilers for the whole season of Daredevil Born Again Season 2. Let's get into it. So the first thing I want to talk about here is Matt Murdock, Daredevil himself, who, after the finale, has now revealed himself as Daredevil to the whole world. Last time this happened, we got Spider-Man No Way Home. So, yeah, but it was very much like I am Iron Man moment. It was I am Daredevil. It was sick. But yeah, over this whole season, Matt Murdock was kind of like Robert Pattinson's Batman, where he was like 90% Batman and 10% Bruce Wayne. Now he's 90% Daredevil, 10% Matt Murdock. We don't really get Matt Murdock himself until the final 2 episodes, which is very cool when he comes back. But it's like, when he comes back, you realize how much you missed him as a lawyer. And I do still really like him as Daredevil. I'm happy with how much Daredevil we got this season, especially because we didn't get a lot of him last season. And now it doesn't seem like we're going to get a lot of him in Season 3, but still, whatever. Yeah, it was very much like a Robert Pattinson Batman type of thing, which makes sense. They were on the run and he had to be in the suit for most of the time. So this one, and plus the black suit was sick. Love the black suit so much. The double D's, everything. It was a great suit. And I hope it sticks around next season, but it probably won't. But yeah, I thought Matt Murdock this season, he's kind of the same as he always is, but just more Daredevil than Matt Murdock. Next character I want to talk about here is, of course, our main villain himself, Wilson Fisk, aka Kingpin. Since he stayed the villain for the past few seasons, people are starting to say now that he needs to go. He needs to go. I don't personally agree that he needs to go, but even with the way the season ends, having him on a remote island somewhere, we don't even know where, or at least not to my knowledge we know where, it seems like he will take a back seat next season, which I'm completely fine with. Leave a door open for new villains to come in, which we will talk about in a while. But I still really love Vincent D'Onofrio as Kingpin, and having him get to show off more emotion this season since Vanessa dies, I think just really works for his character, and it let Vincent D'Onofrio show off his acting chops, which he's a really good actor, and we got to say that a lot this season. He's a good actor every season, but just the amount of emotion he was able to put in this season was so good. And yeah, I just really like Fisk as a villain, but I'm glad that next season he will take a back seat and we get new villains. That's not to say that I don't want Fisk as the main villain ever again. Like, I'd be fine if after next season he comes back for maybe one or two more seasons, and then he permanently goes. But no, I do like Fisk as a villain, and I hope he does stay around for future, even if he's not the main villain in the future. The next character I want to talk about is Jessica Jones, finally returning after so long, and she's badass as always. She is. Just seeing her with her powers again, and just having her in here was so much fun. Kristen Ritter, great as this character. Great to have her in here again. And I hope we see a lot more of her in the future. We didn't get a lot of her this season. We got about as much of her this season, maybe just a bit more than we had of Punisher in season one. But no, still, I think it's really good to have her in here, and she was really fun. Yeah, character to have in here. I'm yapping. I don't really know what to say about her. I like the way they explain her powers coming and going because she had a child. Whether that's a big thing for the future or not, I don't know. But just cool to have her back. I wanted to talk about her in this review. So next character I want to talk about is Karen Page, who I have thoughts on. This season Karen was just kind of like there. Cool to have her back, especially since she wasn't in a lot of season one, but this season, she was just sidekick. That was her whole character this season. And it's just like, this is Karen Page. She shouldn't just be a sidekick, but you made her just a sidekick. Hopefully she gets more to do in season 3, but kind of let down by Karen this season. Cool to have her there, but she didn't really do a lot. Another thing I want to talk about is Bullseye and his kind of arc this season, his one good deed, his purpose, he feels like. I love Wilson Bethel as this character. Alright, and I'm not alone in saying that. A lot of people love him, and it's so great to have him in here. I wish we could have got more of him. Especially since now in season 3 it seems like he's gonna be gone with Matthew Lillard's character. I'm gonna say Matthew Lillard's character for a reason I'm gonna bring up in a few minutes, alright? But I don't think we're gonna get a lot of Dex in season 3. But I hope we do. But even if we don't, it seems like he's gonna be set up for more MCU projects in the future. But just having him go on this whole redemption arc this season, or what he viewed as a redemption arc, I thought was great for his character. Next character I want to talk about is Cole North. I don't have a lot to say, but I really thought they were not going to give him a redemption arc. A lot of people were saying, oh, he could get redeemed. I was like, why? Why are you saying that? There's no way he's going to. Then he knocked out Powell in episode 8, and I was like, oh, finally someone got to Powell this season. But yeah, I wonder if now that Matt is in prison with Cole North, they're going to team up against the task force in prison. That would be cool to see. They didn't set up his redemption arc greatly, but apparently they did enough for other people to notice, so I'm just in the minority, I guess. But it is good because it means they're paying respects to his comic counterpart. Alright, now to nearly end off general conversation, we only have a small little things to bring up after this, is the new White Tiger, Angela, which they did set up in season 1 a little bit. Look, it's cool to have a new superhero who's also White Tiger. I don't really care about Angela. I'm sorry, I don't really care about her. She's a good fighter. I don't really care about her. Alright, maybe I'm in the minority, but I don't. Alright. Or maybe if they wrote her better, that would be cool. And it is cool that she's on a whole quest this season to avenge her uncle, but it doesn't really go anywhere. She doesn't even fight the man who killed her uncle, who I get Cole had a redemption arc right at the end, but come on now. She's not that great of a character if you think about it. Now, the second last thing I want to bring up in general conversation is Matthew Lillard as Mr. Something, because for the longest time people were just saying Mr. Charles because that's what he was introduced as, but everyone started assuming near the end he could be someone bigger, and they didn't reveal if he was. But I just feel like the way they called him Mr. Robertson on the plane at the very end of the season, when he's sitting next to Dex, by the way, which I'm taking that as confirmation Dex is joining the Thunderbolts. I'm taking that as confirmation. Maybe not on Doomsday or Secret Wars, but after that, after the big reboot of the MCU, Dex is going to be in the Thunderbolts. All right, because Matthew Lillard's character, I'm actually just gonna say Mr. Charles, because he might just be Mr. Charles going by Mr. Robertson on the plane. Um, knows Valentina Allegra de Fontaine. Who does Valentina know? The Thunderbolts. Dex can go on to the Thunderbolts easily. But yeah, anyways, I definitely think he's someone bigger. I personally think and hope he's Norman Osborn, setting up the Dark Avengers. Even if Dex doesn't join the Thunderbolts, he's setting up the Dark Avengers. If that's not what it is, then fuck me, I guess. All right, but I genuinely think he is someone bigger. If not Norman Osborn, I don't know. Even if he isn't someone bigger, I don't mind because Matthew Lillard is such a great addition to the MCU, and I'm so happy he didn't die by the end of the season. I mean, he gets to continue on. Um, but yeah, I just feel like at the very end when they said Mr. Robertson, it's a hint that he's changed his name before. So if I'm wrong, I'll stand corrected. But I don't know. I'm just excited to see where he and Dex go next. Final thing I want to bring up is saying rest in peace to Daniel Blake. We carry the flame for you, buddy. I miss you. I'm gonna miss you in season 3, pal. Should have been Powell. Rest in peace, bud. Alright, let's get on to the positives now. First positive is the action scenes, the fighting scenes. They were so cool. It was really, the action scenes were done so well. If there's one thing the season did well, it is the action scenes. Next positive is them just like improving the new characters, whether it's Daniel, Buck, Kirsten, Heather, who I'll get to in the negatives. But anyways, they improved everyone. They gave everyone like actual soul. Like they didn't just make them one note characters. They made them actual characters who you cared about. And Cherry as well. How could I forget about Cherry Unk himself? Yeah, I mean, the way they improved the characters this season is incredible. Alright, now it's time for negatives, which some of you may not like me for. First is something that I actually did like at the start of the season, and that is BB Urick's whole fake Fisk thing. I did like at the start of the season, even though it was revealed very early on that it was BB under the mask, I still enjoyed it, but then it did disappear in the later half of the season, and even when it showed up in episode 8, I was like, oh, we're still doing this. It got old after some time, sadly, but it did. I got sick of it. My next negative is Heather, who I know I brought up when I was talking about improved characters earlier, but I shouldn't have, because even though they gave her more of like a soul this season, the foreshadowing they bet into you every episode, trying to say she's becoming Muse. Did you know that she's becoming Muse? And it's like, okay, we get it. We get it. She's becoming Muse. It became a joke to me at some parts. It was like, okay, calm down. We know she's gonna become Muse. You do not have to beat it into us like this. It got tiring. But I could also be in the minority for that. Some people might like it, but just not me. Alright, now I'm going to discuss some of my theories for season 3. Which will be kind of hard to do, considering we have a lot of set photos from season 3, which I will not be showing. I don't want this video taken down. But yeah, let's just get into my theories anyway. So obviously at the very end of this season, we got the return of Luke Cage, who we know will be back in season 3 with Jessica Jones and Iron Fist, thanks to set leaks. Cool to have the Defenders back. Loved seeing Luke in this, even though it was obvious he was going to appear because of the set photos and just the amount of references they are putting to him. Still cool to see Luke in here, and this isn't really a theory yet because I don't know what they're going to do in season 3. Are they going to break Matt out of jail, or what's going to happen? I don't know. Heroes for hire. My next theory is for where Fisk could go in season 3, or just in the future overall. So obviously at the end of this season, we see Fisk. He is, at a beach somewhere. We don't know where. Maybe we do. Maybe I just wasn't listening. But yeah, we see Fisk somewhere. So, and judging by set photos, he is going to be in season 3 looking like Santa Claus. But I don't think he's going to be the main villain. Now, obviously, thanks to the ending of season 2 and set photos, we do know Heather is Muse now. But I also don't think she's going to be the main villain. I don't know if there is going to be a main villain, if it's going to be small villains throughout the whole season, then maybe Fisk comes back at the end, or what happens. But I don't think Fisk will be the main villain next season. I think it'll be someone else, maybe no one, then in season 4 or 5, if we get one. You know, a lot of people aren't watching this season, so that's not good. Oh, but if we do get more seasons, he could come back in them as the main villain. But eventually, we do have to kill Fisk off. We cannot just have him here forever. Daredevil, I think, will have to break his rule of no killing for Fisk. People are saying that's character assassination. Shut up. Would you want to have Vincent D'Onofrio in this role when he's 100? Yes, but you have to let him go at a certain point. I think that will come in the future for Fisk. Anyways, that's all I have to say about Daredevil Born Again Season 2. Uh, this is a really long review, my longest one so far, actually. So that's exciting. But anyways, overall, I would give this season an 8.5 out of 10. Not perfect, but still really fun. I had a lot of fun with it. Yeah, leave a comment down below on your thoughts on this season. What did you like? What did you not like? Leave a like and subscribe if you feel like it. And I'll see you all in the next review. Thanks for watching. I'll see you then. Bye-bye.